Have you ever thought about this? How you truly show someone your worth without shouting it from the rooftops, without bragging, without constantly proving yourself? In a world filled with loud declarations, social media posts, and people endlessly trying to showcase their value, there's an ancient philosophy that whispers a different truth. Real worth doesn't need to be announced. It is revealed silently through your actions, your composure, and your principles. That philosophy is Stoicism. The Stoics believe that strength is quiet, dignity is subtle, and love, when authentic, is not about overexposure or desperate displays, but about grounded presence and silent demonstrations of value. So today, let's dive deep into 15 silent actions, rooted in Stoic philosophy, that will show your loved one your true worth. These are not loud gestures or manipulative tricks. These are quiet, powerful ways to embody respect, dignity, and self-mastery in your relationship. Take notes, because each of these lessons builds upon the other, and together, they will transform how you show up in Love. Lesson 1. Mastering self-control. The first silent action is perhaps the foundation of all Stoic wisdom: self-control. Think about it. When challenges arise, when tensions flare, when emotions run high, how do you respond? Do you lose yourself in anger, lash out, or collapse into despair? Or do you remain composed, balanced, and calm? Your ability to master yourself in those moments speaks louder than 1,000 words. When your partner sees that you don't crumble under pressure, that you don't let petty frustrations dictate your mood, they recognize your strength. And here's the key: self-control is not coldness. It's not about suppressing every emotion. It's about channeling them wisely. A Stoic once said, "He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior." That applies to love as much as to life. By showing emotional discipline, you communicate silently. I am dependable. I am stable. I am someone you can trust. Lesson 2. Respecting time. Time is the most valuable resource we all share. The Stoics constantly reminded themselves of mortality. Memento mori. Remember, you will die. So, how you spend your time is the truest indicator of what you value. If you consistently dedicate time to your loved one, not out of obligation, but out of choice, you silently show them that they matter. But here's the Stoic twist. It's not just about giving them time, but about giving them quality time. Being present, undistracted, not glued to your phone, not half listening, but fully there. When you honor someone with your undivided attention, you say without words, "You are significant to me." Lesson 3. The power of listening. Listening is one of the most underrated silent actions in relationships. We live in a culture where everyone wants to speak, but few truly listen. The Stoics taught us to be observant, to understand before reacting. When you listen deeply, without judgment, without rushing to respond, you give your partner one of the greatest gifts: understanding. Imagine sitting with them, allowing them to pour out their thoughts, and instead of waiting for your turn to speak, you absorb their words. That kind of listening silently communicates: I respect you. I value your perspective. I care about what you feel. This is Stoic humility in practice. Not assuming you know everything, but being willing to learn, even from those closest to you. Lesson 4. Showing patience. Patience is love's silent proof. Everyone can be kind when things are easy, but what happens when your partner is stressed, when life throws obstacles, when tempers rise? Do you rush to anger? Or do you, like a Stoic, remain patient? Patience is not passivity. It's strength restrained. It shows that you don't allow external events to dictate your state of mind. And in a relationship, this silence speaks volumes. I'm not here for convenience. I'm here for endurance. True worth isn't shown in the sunshine of ease, but in the storms of difficulty. Lesson 5. Living with integrity. Integrity is one of the most profound silent actions. The Stoics held virtue as the highest good, more valuable than wealth, fame, or even comfort. To live with integrity means your actions align with your words, your promises align with your behavior, and your character doesn't change based on convenience. When you live with integrity, your loved one notices, even if they never comment on it. They see that you don't lie when it would be easy. You don't compromise your values for short-term gain, and you don't betray trust. This silent consistency communicates: I can be counted on. In Stoicism, virtue isn't something you announce. It's something you embody. Lesson 6. Practicing gratitude. Gratitude doesn't need to be shouted. It's felt in small, subtle gestures, appreciating the meal cooked, the time shared, the support given. The Stoics constantly reminded themselves of what they had instead of lamenting what they lacked. Epictetus said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he is not, but rejoices for those which he has." When you practice gratitude in a relationship, whether through a smile, a thank you, or simply cherishing the presence of your partner, you silently affirm, "I don't take you for granted." Gratitude strengthens bonds more than grand gestures ever could. Lesson 7. Respecting boundaries. Boundaries are not barriers. They are the invisible lines that define respect. A Stoic respects others' freedom and autonomy, never try and control what is outside their power. In relationships, respecting boundaries, personal space, time, individual goals, is one of the most silent but profound ways to show love. It says, "I honor you as your own person. I don't need to own you to love you." Respect, after all, is the soil where love grows. Lesson 8. Silent acts of service. You don't always need to say, "I love you." Sometimes making the bed, fixing something broken, bringing a cup of tea, or taking care of a small need speaks louder. The Stoics emphasize deeds over words. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily to act justly, serve others, and fulfill his duty. When you quietly serve, not out of obligation, but out of love, you silently demonstrate, "Your comfort matters to me. Your well-being is part of mine." Lesson 9. Steadfast loyalty. Loyalty doesn't require speeches. It reveals itself in constancy, being there, staying true, standing firm. In a world full of fleeting connections, loyalty is a rare jewel. The Stoics prize reliability, seeing it as a mark of character. When your partner knows you won't betray their trust, won't disappear when things get hard, you silently say, "I'm not here temporarily. I'm here, period." Lesson 10. Maintaining composure in conflict. Arguments happen. Misunderstandings arise. But here's the Stoic question. How do you behave when conflict surfaces? Do you shout, insult, or withdraw? Or do you hold steady, listen, and address issues with dignity? Maintaining composure during conflict is one of the strongest silent signals of worth. It shows your loved one that you won't destroy the relationship over anger. You silently prove we can face storms without sinking the ship. Lesson 11. Prioritizing growth. Stoicism is about constant self-improvement. The Stoics journaled, reflected, and held themselves accountable daily. When you silently work on becoming better, reading, learning, evolving, you show your partner that you're not stagnant. At the end of the day, Stoicism reminds us that worth is not declared with loud words or dramatic gestures. It is revealed in silence, in consistency, and in the way you carry yourself when no one is watching. These 11 silent actions are not just tricks to win someone's heart. They are a philosophy of life, a way of showing your loved one that your value is not tied to temporary moods, fleeting emotions, or shallow validation, but to principles that never change. Remember this. The world is filled with people who say they care, who promise love, who swear loyalty, but their actions betray them. Words are easy. Silence is harder. And silent actions? They never lie. Every time you respect your loved one's boundaries, every time you choose patience over anger, every time you show discipline in your own life, you are speaking volumes without opening your mouth. You are saying, "I am someone you can rely on. I am someone whose love is not blown away by the first strong wind. I am someone whose worth is not measured in noise, but in presence." This is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Most people demand recognition. The Stoic doesn't. Most people chase validation. The Stoic doesn't. Most people perform loudly for love. The Stoic shows love in silence. And in that silence, a power is born, the kind of power that your loved one will feel in their heart, even if you never say a single word. So carry these lessons with you, not as tactics, but as truths, not as temporary strategies, but as a way of life. Because when you embody Stoicism, you don't need to prove your worth. It speaks for itself. And here's the final reminder. You are not responsible for how the world sees you, but you are responsible for how you show up. Keep your actions aligned with your values. Keep your love steady, not noisy, and keep walking the Stoic path, silently, powerfully, unshakably. If you found wisdom here today, remember, this is not the end. Every day is a chance to practice. Every day is a chance to live Stoicism, not just learn it. And if you want more of these timeless lessons, make sure you subscribe to Everyday Stoicism, because tomorrow, another truth will be waiting for you. Until then, stay grounded, stay disciplined, and stay true. Goodbye for now.